I arrived in the small, mist-shrouded village just as the last rays of the sun dipped below the hills. The villagers glanced at me with a look that was hard to describe, fear mixed with pity. I had come to uncover the mystery behind an abandoned manor that everyone whispered about but no one dared approach. I was a journalist, and this was the kind of story I lived for. But the eerie quiet and the villagers' cold demeanor had already begun to unsettle me. As I checked into the local inn, the innkeeper looked at me and muttered, "The walls of that manor are painted in blood. It is not a place meant for the living." As night fell, I gathered my courage and spoke with some of the elders in the village. Each one seemed reluctant to talk but eventually shared fragmented details. "Many years ago, there was a tragedy," one man whispered. "The walls, they are soaked in the horror of those who perished within. Anyone who hears the whispers never returns." A strange chill crept over me. Was this just local folklore, or was there some truth to the horrific tale? That night in my room at the inn, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Just as I was beginning to drift off, I heard a faint whisper. The sound was like the wind, soft yet insistent, right by my ear. I jolted upright, my heart racing as I scanned the room. But there was no one there. Still, the words echoed in my mind, "They wait for you." The next morning, I made my way to the manor, situated on the edge of the village, almost hidden by the thick forest surrounding it. The air felt colder, heavier, as I approached. I could see strange, dark stains on the walls from afar. Upon closer inspection, it was clear, they looked disturbingly like blood. Suddenly, a shadow flitted by, just at the edge of my vision. I turned, but no one was there. It was as though the very walls of the manor were alive, watching me. Back at the inn, the innkeeper seemed disturbed to see me return. He spoke in hushed tones, "Many have gone, but none have returned unscathed." His words sent a shiver down my spine. I was in too deep now, but I could not ignore the story's pull. I resolved to return to the manor that night to find out what secrets lay hidden within its walls. As the night grew darker, I once again ventured to the manor. The atmosphere felt thick with menace, and shadows seemed to dance along the walls. Whispers grew louder, echoing around me. I could make out fragments of words, chilling enough to freeze my blood. "The blood, it stains, it lives," they whispered, as if the walls themselves were speaking to me. My pulse pounded in my ears, and a cold sweat broke out across my skin. It felt like something cold and unseen was pressing down on me. Turned to leave, but my path was blocked. A figure stood before me, a woman, her face etched in horror. Her eyes gleamed with an unnatural light, and her voice was a chilling whisper. "You came to seek, but now you are part of this place," she hissed. My flashlight flickered and died, plunging me into darkness. I was surrounded by the echo of her voice, and a feeling of pure terror gripped my soul. I realized I was trapped. I raced back to my room at the inn, my heart pounding as if it would burst from my chest. But the whispers had followed me, filling the room with an eerie presence. Desperately, I tried to cover my ears, but the whispers only grew louder, relentless, echoing in my mind. Switching on the light, I looked around frantically, only to feel a cold draft settle over me. It was as if the manor's hold on me had tightened, inescapable. By now, I knew something inside me had changed. The terror of the manor had gripped me completely, and the whispers were etched into my mind. I could no longer tell if they were real or the product of my unraveling sanity. I kept glancing at the door, expecting to see the figure from the manor waiting for me. I had become like those villagers, haunted, a prisoner of the manor's curse. In the end, I surrendered. I had come searching for a story but had become a part of the legend myself. The villagers had been right. Those who enter the manor and hear the whispers are bound to it forever. The walls of that manor had claimed me too, and now I was a part of its dark story, trapped in the blood-stained walls, forever unable to escape.